Hello, you sexy human beings. So, I am back tonight with a new segment that I was thinking about doing a couple months ago. Never got the chance to really get it going, which really made me upset because I really wanted it, but I'm getting it done tonight. My nightly routine kind of varies by the day, but on Sundays I do a mask and I also exfoliate my lips and heavily moisturize my skin. When it gets closer to my bedtime, I will sit down and actually read my journals from my past entries, and then my last couple minutes before bed, I will start to write in my new journal and fill my journal up with different entries and stuff. I just got finished watching a video by a YouTuber named Tana. I think her last name is Manjo or whatever her last name is. I'll link her channel down below and the video that kind of spurred this kind of thought to come up. But I got so inspired because her video made me realize I dated a fuckboy. Oh yes, I dated many a fuckboy. This is my story of when I dated a fuckboy. Hope you guys like it. So we're going to throw this all the way back to my 6th grade year, which is middle school. So in middle school, and especially in 6th grade, I was a very awkward preteen. I had little to no friends because I was constantly moving. Not for any reason, we just kind of relocated a lot. And middle school was the first time ever since I had actually started school that I actually stayed in a school for the entire remainder of the years that we were supposed to be there. So middle school was definitely a weird time for me. But anyways, so my 6th grade year, I had the biggest crush on this kid, and for all intents and purposes, we're going to call this guy Michael. We became friends, me and Michael, and I start to like him even more. And then in 7th grade, when I actually have friends, I told them about my crush on Michael. And they're like, you should ask him, you never know, just ask him. And at this time, it was around Valentine's Day. And of course, around Valentine's Day in middle school, everyone is bitten by the love bug, because, at least at my middle school we were, because everyone was obsessed with getting these flowers. There was carnations for sale, and all I wanted was my very first carnation. And I knew it wasn't going to happen unless I asked Michael out. So we get into my math class, in which I have a class with Michael in, and I wrote him a note and passed it back the classic way before you had text messaging. I was like, okay, you asked him out. The worst he could say is no. And he did. He said no. I really wasn't that heartbroken about it because I've never been the kind of person to let things get to me way too much. Most girls would be like, oh my god, I'm so heartbroken, what am I supposed to do? Go into my emo phase and just cry for hours and whatever. I was never like that. I was over things like that. I didn't let things get to me. My friends took it harder than I did. Honestly, they were like, are you okay? You want to talk? It's so sad. I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, I really do not care. Over the next couple weeks after me asking him out, I would find out soon enough that he was actually interested in my best friend at the time. And I literally watched him date my best friend and the rest of my friends I had. And he didn't date me. Clearly, he was not worth it. So I was okay with it. I was done. Moving on. I get to high school, and it turns out he's going to the same high school. So at this point, we were really, really close friends, and I really did have a really big appreciation for the fact that we never dated. But I paid no mind to him because, once again, these same girls who were obsessed with him were obsessed with him still. And then we had an entirely new pool of girls and some guys who were literally obsessed with him. So I was like, you know what, at this point, I have no real chance. He already turned me down once. I'm not going through that again. I'm gonna go on with my life and not worry about ever dating anybody. So, fast forward to my sophomore year, met my best friend Casey, love you girl, and I introduced her to the world that is Michael. Everything about Michael I told her. He broke up with a boyfriend, or something happened between them, and then it comes to find out she has a crush on him. So, her and I both now have a crush on Michael, and we are like, okay, I would be happy if either one of us would date Michael. I would be happy. She was happy if I would date him, and I'd be happy if she would date him. So junior year happens, and by now, her and I are kind of over Michael. We're like, whatever, we don't care. On to new guys. And we all have gotten over the allure that Michael had. And then, one random day, I was walking to my 6th period class, and he happened to be walking, the opposite way. He had a white paper in his hand, and he's like, oh, you have class back here? And I was like, yeah, I have class back here. I walk here every day. He's like, good, I'll walk you to class from now on. After sixth period, I find him at the portable, like at the end of the stairs, waiting for me. And he like has this smirk. To this day, the smirk gives me like butterflies. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. He had this smirk that he used to like smile, and it literally killed me, like seeing him like that. It was literally the sexiest thing anybody could ever do. So naturally, I'm like glowing, so excited because he literally was there waiting for me. So I go down the stairs and I say, hey, what's up, whatever. And this time, instead of just walking with me, puts his arm around my shoulders and brings me into a hug and then continues to hold me from behind and walk me to class. At this point, internally, mentally, at this point, my brain is mush. Like, I have the hottest guy in school on my shoulders right now. And he's literally holding me from behind. Like, I was like, what is happening? I ran to Casey and told her what happened. The next day, it actually happens. He does it. But this time, he kisses me on the cheek and on the forehead. My brain, if it was mush the day before with him just like holding me from behind, this point, it was literally liquid. Like, liquid. So we're gonna fast forward to the year after I graduate. So at this point, Casey has been with her boyfriend that she's actually still with for a good 7 years. At this point, they've been together for 2 years, I'm pretty sure, or maybe a year. But anyways, so the year after I graduate, he messages Casey and asks her if she's available because he had been going through a lot of relationships and he just, I guess, was trying to find somebody new to be with, someone he'd never been dating before because the one he was with before, he had been on and off with her for a while and it never worked out for him. And so he messages Casey and asks her if she's available, told her like he kind of liked her, that kind of stuff like that. It wasn't a serious thing, but he, you know, he's always thought she was really pretty. And she's like, no, I'm taken. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for, that's really flattering. But I'm with somebody that I care for a lot and I do like him a lot. So he turns her down, but this is why she is literally my ride or die bitch. She tells him, well, I do know that Ashley has had the biggest crush on you for the longest time. Why don't you give her a shout? And he does. And actually, she is the one who told me about it because I think she called me and she's like, listen, Michael's gonna call you and he wants to talk to you. I don't know, he sounded really interested in you, and at this point I'm like, wait, what? So I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, Michael wants to talk to me? Like, it's been a couple years. What's he gonna think? I haven't really seen him in over a year. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, what's he want to talk about? And she's like, I think he's gonna ask you out, but I'm not sure. She just sounded like he really wanted to talk to you. So I waited, and apparently she gave him my number, and he texted me. He's like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, nothing much. And it was very common, like what you would say to somebody what you were just talking to after a while of not talking. And he's like, so listen, I really want to talk to you, but I have a couple things to do, so I'll message you after I get off. And I was like, fine, that's fine. At the end of the day, he actually called me, and we had a conversation, and it was actually a very good conversation. It was one thing that I will give to him is that he's actually a very good talker. Like, he's really good at listening, and he's an excellent advice person. Now, we're gonna go ahead and fast forward to about a week after we start initially to talk. So, at this point, everyone kind of knew, like, all my friends knew we were dating. Everyone knew how much I actually liked Michael in school, and they were like, oh my god, you shot already, he's so hot. And people would message me like, girls, he's so cute, I can't believe he's dating you, like, I can't believe you got him, I can't believe this. And it was kind of bitchy for them to say that kind of thing, because what does that mean? Like, I couldn't get someone like him? Like, bitch, the hell? So, but anyways, it's known that we're dating, and it was fun. We went out for a couple dates. It was very, very fun. One day, we had been discussing something about a party that I was supposed to go to and meet up with him at. And I had been ready, and he told me to message him when I was ready. So I did. I messaged him. No answer. Called him. No answer. I'm not the kind of person to bother somebody, but if we made plans and you're probably waiting for me, like, I want to get a hold of you so you know that I'm ready, whatever. And I didn't hear anything from him for a good couple, like, maybe 2 hours. At this point, I'm literally like, what the fuck, man? Like, We made plans to go to this party together. This was supposed to be our first big night out as a couple. And it was supposed to be exciting for us. And then here he is, like, not even answering my phone calls. About maybe 2 hours after I gave up on him, I get a phone call from him saying, oh, I'm sorry, I completely forgot. Like, I'm here now. I completely forgot I was supposed to pick you up, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm not going to go out. It is what it is. You have fun. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Just message me when you're up tomorrow. He's like, okay, babe, I'll talk to you tomorrow. The next day, I didn't hear anything from him at all. Like, nothing. Sure enough, about 2 hours later, I get a message from his friend Kyle. And his friend Kyle says to me, are you the girl that Michael is dating? And I was like, yeah. I mean, at least I thought I was. Why? Something wrong? He's like, well, according to him, you guys aren't together. And I was like, what are you talking about? No. You say you're together. He says you're not together. And I was like, wait, what? And at this point, I'm just like, wow, what a fuck ass. So at this point, I'm like, I'm 100% sure we're dating because he and I have had conversations about us being together. And he says, yes, you're my girlfriend. And we actually had talked about getting married in the future. Like, we had our future talks. Like, he was mutually invested in having a long-term relationship, and I assumed that we were in a long-term relationship. So at this point, he's like, okay, well, you can think what you want, but he was here at the party yesterday with other girl, and he's been wanting this girl for a long time. You were just a backup. And I'm just, excuse me? Like, I was like, excuse me? Like, I'm no one's rebound. I'm no one's backup. And this is what I was told in the end. This girl, I guess, had rejected him before he messaged me, and he went to Casey, try to get with her because she was the second rebound and I was the last rebound. The next day, he messages me and says, oh, hey, babe, what's up? I don't answer him. He calls me. I don't answer him. He texts me again, hey, give me a call when you're ready to talk. And I don't answer him. I ignore his messages for a good week. Eventually, he gets to the point where he's literally blowing up my phone every other minute. And I was like, you know what? Let's just hear what this douchebag has to say because I'm pretty sure it's going to be comical. So I answer the phone call the next time he calls me, and he's like, why are you ignoring me? And I was like, oh, you don't know? We're not dating. And he's like, yes, we are. He's like, when did this happen? And I was like, excuse me, last week I was messaged by one of your friends telling me that you were at a party with some other girl. The same party that I was supposed to go to, that we were supposed to show up together as a couple, you were there with another girl. And at this point, Kyle had actually messaged me the pictures of them together. He's like, it's true, I was there at the party with the other girl, but I didn't ditch you for her. I literally forgot that I was supposed to go out with you tonight to this party. And I was like, how do you forget your supposed girlfriend? And I hung up the phone on him. And that was actually the last time I talked to him until about maybe a year ago. He messaged me eventually and he told me the entire story, and I guess what this Kyle guy said was exactly true. This girl had been his first choice and she turned him down, so to make her jealous, he tried going after Casey. Casey wouldn't take the bait because she was taken, and then he went to me after the bait because I was, I guess, available, and I just was so blinded by my past feelings for him and everything, and I thought it was so cool that he was so interested in me that I took the bait and ran with it. Honestly, I got the bigger laugh though, because in the end, she ended up cheating on him, and he had invested his feelings in her, I guess, and she cheated on him with some other guy that she had met at the same party that I was supposed to go to. So yes, that was my story about the time I dated one of the fuckboys that I dated. I have two more I want to talk about, but those will be the next couple weeks' stories. Storytime Sundays for you guys. If you guys have any fuckboy stories, feel free to vent down below, boo-boo, because we all need to have those vent times, and why not make this video a vent time? I love you guys. Hopefully you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe if you have not already, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye!